Then I have a session on the hormone levels centenarians. And what you see is that they relatively have higher levels. They maintain their melatonin activity. They have a higher thyroid activity, higher free T3. They maintain their cortisol activity, it doesn't go down with aging in them. And they have higher maintained DHA activity compared to other younger 80-year-olds, for example. And they also have a higher growth hormone and IGF-1 activity often than, especially for men, than at age 80. And 80-year-olds, probably more oxytocin, more maintained or higher testosterone activity, especially women, they maintain higher testosterone and higher estrogen and progesterone activities in women who become centenarians. So they have better levels. So let's look at one or two of these studies. You see that they're fully alive and intelligent, well, is probably thanks to their T3. You have a study here on Danish centenarians, and what we see is that the thyroid that in 90% of normal people that when they die is full of nodules, they only 26% of them at autopsy studies have morphological thyroid alterations. Most of them preserve a good thyroid gland. And when we look at centenarians and semi-centenarians, those are people are between 105 and 110 years of age. They have actually, if they have a lower serum free T3 level, they actually have a worse health and more mortality. The T3 is the most active thyroid hormone. If they have a higher T3 level and compared to the T4, which is just the poor hormone, the T4, the T3 is the active hormone. Well, the higher free T3 gives them lower mortality and a better functional status. And here's a study on centenarian women. And what is very special to centenarian women is they have a strong willpower. They are obstinate and they have positive emotions of fighting back when a problem comes up. You want to impress them. They know what they want. And look at the testosterone level. This is testosterone level in women age 70 years in USA. This is testosterone level of women in Okinawa, 70-year-olds. And here's the testosterone level of Okinawa women at 100 years old. 130% higher, actually, than in 70-year-olds. So it's the women with high testosterone that remain to be centenarians, that live longer. Testosterone is a fantastic hormone for women. What about the female hormones in centenarians? Well, here's a study in Chinese centenarians, more than 1,000 of these older women, well, and among those 758 centenarians. And what you see is a centenarian woman compared to 80 to 89-year-olds have 63% higher serum estrogen levels. Again, a sex hormone that probably makes this woman live longer, because there are many studies showing that estradiol makes women live longer. And then there's so much studies that I'm not going to show everything, but it's really interesting to also look at the micronutrient levels of centenarians. And you see, for example, that vitamin A has been found to be high in healthy centenarians. Vitamin A and vitamin E, which are antioxidant vitamins, that maybe helps them to live longer. In Italian centenarians, in order to be objective, I must show that another study in Sardinian and centenarians. Sardinia is one of those regions also where there are more centenarians than in other areas of Italy. And there they didn't find the difference of higher vitamin A. What about zinc and selenium in centenarians? Well, here's a study in Chinese centenarians, and those centenarians actually had sufficient fingernail levels of zinc and selenium. So it didn't decrease like in older people, often the zinc and selenium levels decrease. And we saw already that giving selenium with coenzyme Q10 helps to live longer and to have longer telomeres. So that's maybe one of the mechanisms why they live longer. And they keep their telomeres from shortening, because centenarians have actually, in one study, the telomeres length of young adults on average. So that's impressive. So it probably may contribute to the longevity of centenarians following the research of those good levels of zinc and selenium.